Lola is 17. When I adopted her, I never would have imagined that she would want to ride roller coasters and surf and do cage dives with sharks. She's incredibly bright. She's resilient, determined. She's brave beyond anything I ever could have imagined.
The biggest challenge is that people see me and think I'm not smart, and they put limits on me. I like to do things people think I can't do.
My best friend showed her a picture, a screenshot, and it was like the cage and the sharks, and she, lit up. Yes, that I want to do. When I called them here, they were like, yeah, absolutely, I think we can make that work. And so then we took the waivers, and the doctors were like, yeah, sure, great. And the whole time I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I don't want to swim with sharks. Not in a cage, not in the ocean, not at all. Like, this is not what I want to do, but I also do not ever want to be the reason that she doesn't do something that she wants to do because of my fear. But in order for her to fully engage with the things that she wants to do, it requires me to as well. And I know that. And so I very begrudgingly signed up.
I have quadriplegic CP, so it affects all my muscles in my arms and legs. But it doesn't affect my thinking. Cerebral palsy affects me all day, every day, but it doesn't impact my personality or what I like to do.
No, it doesn't.
I feel the most myself doing extreme sports. When I heard about the cage dive and saw a picture, I wanted to go immediately. I also knew my mom would probably freak out, so I wanted to go even more.
That's true. I was a special ed teacher, so I always had kind of high expectations for her, but I never even imagined that she would want to do or would be able to do some of the things that we have done in the last 14 years. She's just awesome. She's really awesome. When we got here, I was very fearful of what it was going to look like, how they were going to do it, and I was absolutely just blown away by how prepared they were. They had equipment ready, they had a plan, but they clearly were so capable and skilled that it took so much of my fear away. I still did not want to get in a cage with sharks, but I knew she was going to be fine in there with the team that was with her, so that was very helpful. And this time I'll go more willingly. Still her idea, but I don't feel terrified this time. We're from a suburb of Chicago, so it's like a 7.5-hour drive to get here. I knew they had the dive helmets. There are other places that do a cage dive, but they have to wear the snorkel, and I knew couldn't do that. And so that made this opportunity feasible from just an equipment standpoint. When I called back to say, okay, we're finally ready, he was like, yeah, you talked to me, let's do this, They were able to see how she communicates. They were on it. They were prepared, clearly had a thought out plan. As a mom, it brought down a lot of anxiety.
We have the SeaTREK helmets. It's an air helmet. It sits on your shoulders. That allows us to accommodate a lot of different people because it doesn't require you to be scuba certified in order to do SeaTREK. These helmets weigh about 72 to 75 pounds. That's what's going to keep you underwater, but once you're submerged, it only weighs about 15 pounds because of the displacement. With Lola, we can't have her kneel down. It requires a minimum of 2 divers to support her in an upright position so that she can see everything.
From start to finish was just a seamless process. They were just so knowledgeable, so compassionate.
I felt free under the water. I liked it when they fed the sharks and they started swimming faster because I could feel the movement in the water. I liked being lower in the cage so I could see better. Before my first dive, I was nervous, but a little excited. This time I'm excited. I know what to expect and I trust my dive team.
It's just such a cool experience to be in the water and to be surrounded and to see them so close. I think the greatest thing about adapted activities and adapted sport. Like, that is where she built her strong sense of self. She's just been surrounded by people who don't see her disability as a barrier. They just see it as a difference. And so I think had she not been given opportunities like this, I can't even imagine what her life would look like. I'm just so proud of her. Not a person with a disability, but just be a normal person. As a mom, there's nothing better than seeing her do something that she loves and to have no barriers to it.
This experience means everything to me. I got to do something most people are too scared to do. I got to be different in a good way, and it had nothing to do with my disability. I want people to know that there is always a way. There are people who will help. You just have to find them. It is okay to be nervous. If you don't like it, you don't have to go again, but if you never tried, you'll never know. You might miss out on something great. It is safe and fun. You should do it.
Even if one or two other people hear her story and they want to give it a shot, like, now you're also changing other people's perspectives, which is really awesome.